and a pleasant afternoon to all of our listeners. This is Kennedy Drake, your host for Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. I'm here to bring you the latest news, sports, and weather to ensure you're well informed about what's happening in your area. And to make things even more exciting, our special guest, Mr. Michael Miles, will talk with us about the Symphony Orchestra. Trust me, you won't want to miss what he's got to share. But before we jump into all this excitement, here's a quick message from our sponsor.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. In USM Campus News, are you ready to take control of your financial future? Money Moves with Student Employment will take place April 18th in the Union Room B from 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. This is a dynamic workshop, part of National Financial Capability Month. Discover the power of career planning and mastering your financial destiny. This interactive session will unveil how strategic career choices can pave the way towards achieving your financial goals. Don't miss out on this opportunity to gain valuable insights and chart your path to financial success. Tune in to the 2024 Speaker Series featuring Dr. Weavington, Pine Hero. Dr. Pine Hero is an assistant professor at Texas Tech University, focusing on making STEM education fair for everyone. He listens closely to the voices of others, such as LGBTQIA+ individuals. Join him on Thursday, April 18th from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. for insights into teaching math for social justice and understanding women's experiences in math classes. Register now via Zoom and email chrissy.hudson@usm.edu for any questions. Don't miss this chance to learn and engage. In Hattiesburg News, a recreational sports program for people with disabilities was this past weekend and will take place again before the month is over. At Tatum Park, the program called Top Soccer is designed to teach the sport to individuals with emotional disabilities. It would take place again on April 20th and 27th. The Top Soccer coach has said that they work on soccer drills, colors, teams, building, scrimmaging, ball skills, and all things to build a team. Organizers hope to build a top soccer league in the hub city. Participants of all skill levels are welcome to join in the fun. Families and friends are invited to cheer on the players and join the joy of their accomplishments. Top Soccer aims to promote physical activity, social interaction, and confidence building among participants. Top Soccer fosters a sense of belonging and empowerment for all involved. The program is free of charge thanks to the generous support of their sponsors and community partners. Mark your calendars and be a part of this inspiring journey towards inclusivity and sportsmanship. In Mississippi news, people are concerned about why Confederate Heritage Month is still a celebration in Mississippi. You heard that right. In 2024, the Confederate States of America are still being honored in Mississippi. The tradition dates back to 1993, but isn't publicized by any Mississippi state official or government agency. Governor Tate Reeves proclaimed this month's celebration. Tate Reeves' record of race and Civil War history is checkered, as a student in Millsaps College said that Reeves was a part of a fraternity that threw Confederate-themed parties and were members that wore blackface. The governor said that he, however, never wore blackface while in the fraternity. In 2020, he signed a law retiring Mississippi's state flag that honored the Confederate flag, but criticized Black Lives Matter protesters at the same time. Reeves has denied the existence of systemic racism in the United States. Mississippi is the only state that has dedicated a month in honoring the Confederacy in the last 3 years, although 6 other southern states have done so historically. Mississippi also recognizes Confederate Memorial Day on April 27th. That's your news update from Southern Miss Today. Next, we'll have the latest in sports and weather, so stay tuned. We will be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. If you or your business is interested in sponsoring programming on WUSM, we'd love to talk to you about the benefits and opportunities. You can get recognition for your business as well as the appreciation of the WUSM audience. The audience realizes your support provides the programming they listen to daily. In addition, our sponsorship rates are very cost-effective and tax-deductible. To learn more, call 601-266-4287.
Welcome back with our action-packed sports segment. A lot of different games took place this week and much more coming up. So put your jerseys on because it is game time. Women's golf is preparing for their 3rd round of their all-day tournament against Lakewood. The tournament starts today in Point Clear, Alabama. Tomorrow on April 18th, they will play Lakewood again for the semifinal round. That same day, men's tennis will compete against Old Dominion. Everyone is excited to cheer on beach volleyball as they have their game against Cal Poly on April 19th at 12:45 p.m. That same day, they're going head-to-head against ULM at 4 p.m. Locations are still underway, so head to southernmiss.com to keep up to date with all things sports. Matthew Russo lifted the Eagles baseball team to a 9-6 win over Nichols on Tuesday night. Russo belted the game-winning home run. Volleyball has a pleasant new addition to their team. They have welcomed Kirsten Sales as an assistant coach for the Southern Miss volleyball program. She said that she's incredibly fortunate to coach with an outstanding program. As for your weather today, it's currently sunny and 76 degrees. The high is 82 and the low is 67. It's a cloudy day today, so make sure to keep your rain gear nearby in case any participation happens. Up next, we have the Mississippi Moments produced by the Center of Oral History and Cultural Heritage. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. Formed in 1955 by Robert Tutt Patterson, the White Citizens Council worked to maintain segregation in the South. Judge Harvey Ross recalls the group's initial popularity and their office in Greenwood.
Race relations were definitely heating up in Clarksdale, and when they formed the Citizen Council here, Senator Eastland came to Clarksdale. They had a meeting at the auditorium. I attended it. I never went to another meeting of it, but there was a big turnout there. Then it was very, very active here. As a matter of fact, they had an office in Greenwood, Citizen Council did, with a full-time staff. I remember one time Oscar Carr and I were going to Jackson, and we both grew up with Tut, you know, went to camp with him and all that. So we decided to stop by the Citizen Council to see Tut, and we went in there and they had the office going. They had Confederate flags everywhere and all kind of racial paraphernalia. And I remember when we got ready to leave, Oscar asked Tut, he said, "Tut, we're sort of impressed with everything you got here, but where in the hell is the American flag?" He didn't have an American flag in the whole place.
To hear more, visit MississippiMoments.org or just like us on Facebook. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
That was your Mississippi Moment for today. Coming up, we have the pleasure of hearing from Mr. Michael Miles. So stick with us while we hear a message from one of our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277. And the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
Welcome back, everyone. We have a special guest with us today. He knows everything about the symphony orchestra and is the conductor. Please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Mr. Michael Miles. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Kennedy. Thanks for having me.
I'm so happy to have you here. Can you tell us, when is the symphony orchestra?
Well, I'm here to talk about the final symphony orchestra concert of our season. We have a year-long season in which we perform 7 or 8 concerts, and this is our final concert of the year. It's a big blowout concert, grand finale, if you were, for several different reasons, and it's going to be a wonderful event. It's Saturday, April 27th at 7:30 p.m. in Bennett Auditorium. You can get tickets through the School of Music or at the door, and those tickets are $20 for patrons, and students always get in free to all our concerts, so we encourage students to attend.
Okay, it sounds like a really fun event. Who all is going to be performing?
Well, the Symphony Orchestra is made up of 70 of our most talented students over in the School of Music. So the Symphony Orchestra is made up of strings, violins, violas, cellos, basses, as well as all the winds and brass instruments and percussion. And so these students rehearse 3 times a week, and I'm on my way to a rehearsal right after this interview, one of our final rehearsals. But they rehearse 3 times a week, work really hard on some very challenging repertoire, and then we present our concerts.
Mm-hmm. What is the preparation for this big event like? Is it something that takes a lot of time? Have you been doing this for a long time, getting ready for it?
Well, normally our preparation period per concert is 4 to 5 weeks. But we're doing a major symphonic work by Gustav Mahler on our final concert, and so we've had 7 weeks to prepare for this concert, and we needed every minute of it.
Are there any graduate students that participate as well?
Yeah, we have a lot of graduate students in the orchestra. Many of our string students are graduate students, and most of our winds and brass are graduate students. Mm-hmm. So it's a very mature and talented group, but we also have freshmen in the group, and everything in between. So it's a challenge to find the right repertoire and the right level that challenges even our best students, but isn't too challenging to discourage our younger students.
Mm-hmm. That's good. It sounds like a lot of thought goes into it.
It does.
How do you decide who should perform? Because I'm sure everyone wants to do it eventually.
Yeah, every year, every semester, we have auditions for the orchestra. And so the strings are a set group of people that they audition for chair seating because it's a great honor to sit higher up in the section. And then our winds and brass, the entire winds and brass student body audition every year for placement in the ensembles, and the orchestra is considered the top ensemble for them, so that the top players play in that ensemble.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How do you decide what songs should be played and how those songs can convey emotion with the performer and the audience?
Yeah, it's an intricate balance because we have a lot of community support. So we have a lot of patrons from our community who support the orchestra and come to our concerts, and they all have differing backgrounds in terms of music, or their love for music, or their interest in music, or their knowledge of music. And then we have our university body that we have to think about. The primary consideration for us, though, is the students that are in the orchestra, and what kind of repertoire will best serve them in terms of preparing them for a future in music. So as I said, we have to balance that aspect with the aspect of doing things that are more entertaining or maybe more well-known to our community audience. Mm-hmm. So it is quite a balancing act each year to figure that repertoire out. But the repertoire for this last concert sort of took care of itself in that regard. This final concert, we're performing 2 works by Gustav Mahler. The first is a song cycle, 4 songs that he wrote called Songs of the Wayfarer. And our wonderful baritone professor, Dr. Taylor Hightower, will be singing those with us. They're in German. Gustav Mahler wrote the text for these songs. And the reason we chose those songs to perform on this concert was we're also performing Mahler's First Symphony. And Mahler used themes from his song cycle as the major themes in the First Symphony. So our audience is going to hear these melodies and harmonies that Mahler wrote for the song cycle in one context, and then they'll hear them in the symphony in another context. And I think it'll be very interesting and entertaining for our audience. Mm-hmm. But the Songs of the Wayfarer we chose also because Dr. Hightower, this was a song cycle that really touched him as a young musician and really helped him make the decision that he wanted to be a singer for his career and his profession. And the First Symphony is sort of a full circle event for me. I'm retiring at the end of this academic year, so this is my final concert with the symphony orchestra. And Mahler's First Symphony was the first piece of music, classical music, I ever heard that really touched me and moved me. I went into school as an 18-year-old as an engineering major. Somebody told me I should do that because I was good at math and got a good score on the ACT in math. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I lived in a very, very small community in rural Colorado and didn't have much exposure to classical music. So really didn't know much about it. And so went to school to be an engineering major, got a band scholarship because I played the trumpet. And so I was in the band, and a friend of mine in the band said, "Hey, why don't you come over and listen to some music one night?" And he played me Mahler's First Symphony. And I was stunned. I was shell-shocked. I didn't know how to respond to this music. It moved me so much. And the next day I changed my major to music. And I've been in music now since, well, that was 1977. So
wow.
It's a long time. So it's a full circle event for me in terms of choosing the Mahler Symphony. But it's not just about me and that story. Mahler's First Symphony is one of the most beautiful and thoughtful pieces of music ever written, and it's an enormous challenge for our students. The symphony's 53 minutes long, so that in of itself means that it's twice as long as any other piece of music we played this year. And that challenge in and of itself is huge for our orchestra members. It's technically very difficult, stylistically very difficult, expressively extremely difficult. And it's just a long time to hold focus in this day and age when we have, Instagram hits for 8 seconds. So it's been a real challenge. They're really working hard, stepping up to the challenge. I'm looking forward to a great performance. And our community is going to hear 2 of the most wonderful pieces of music I think that's ever been written.
That sounds amazing. I've always heard that we have a great music program here. So just hearing you speak about it, hearing about what all is going to be played, and your story really shows me the beautifulness of music.
Yeah, we really do have a fine school of music, and it's something that this institution has always raised up when it talks about things that are of excellence in the institution. And the Symphony Orchestra has always been one of the premier organizations over there that people can look to and say, this is what we produce, this is what we do, and it's always of very high quality. We're very proud of it.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any goals for the Symphony Orchestra in the future?
Well, my goal is that they continue to do what we've done, and that is produce excellent students, excellent musicians, and excellent music for our community. We have a very special relationship with our community, one that most university or academic orchestras don't have, in that we have a lot of community support and a lot of very active community support. So, my hope is that all of that continues. As I said, I'm retiring, and my replacement has already been chosen, and so we're on a good track to keep things moving in the right direction with the symphony orchestra.
How do you think this orchestra has progressed since you've been conducting it?
Wow, that is a great question. My predecessor, Dr. Jay Dean, built this orchestra, and he was the director of the orchestra for 30 years. So he has an incredible reputation of building the orchestra to what it was, and they performed with some of the great artists of this century and the last century, and so we owe him a great debt of gratitude. But I wanted to make sure that I put my imprint on the symphony orchestra as well, and I think the things that we've done to really focus on the educational aspects of playing in a symphony orchestra, how you do certain things, what the expectations are going to be, how to act like a professional musician, and being sure that they're playing repertoire that they're going to see in their future so that they have some experience with it. I think those are the things that I really tried to focus on with the orchestra, and I think it's been pretty successful.
Mm-hmm. Has there ever been any solos in the orchestra before?
Oh yeah, we have guest artists on almost every concert. Like this concert, Dr. Hightower is performing with us. But we feature three. We have a student concerto competition every year, the William T. Gower Student Concerto Competition, and we pick three winners, and those three students have the opportunity to perform those solos with the orchestra. And then we also bring in guest artists from all over the world. We've had pianists from South Africa. We've had flutists from Italy. We've had, singers from Europe. And so, yeah, we try to bring as much of an eclectic program to our community that we can every year. And it's always great for our students to hear great artists perform. So we want to give them that opportunity as frequently as possible.
That does sound great to just hear different people from different cultures and the diversity all coming together, doing music, beautiful music that everyone loves to hear.
Yeah.
Is there a particular soloist or someone that has came that wants to continue to keep coming that people just gravitate towards?
Well, I think anybody that has played with our symphony orchestra has found it to be a wonderful experience for them. So I think any of them would want to come back. The one that's special to me is Petronelle Milan. She's a pianist from South Africa that I've known a long time, since my days back in Oklahoma, before I came here. And she's just such an incredible artist that the feeling of ensemble and unity with her and the orchestra and myself was just very, very special when she was here. So she's somebody I would love to have performed with again before I retired.
Yes, that sounds great. How long has the symphony orchestra been going on the whole time since the school's been together? Is this something more new?
Yeah, the symphony orchestra is over 100 years old. It's celebrated its 100th, and I think this is our 104th season, might be our 105th season. So it's almost as old as this institution. And it started out, of course, with very meager instrumentation and resources to have a symphony orchestra. And some of the early photographs in Bennett Auditorium of them on stage is, you've got 2 harps and a violin and 3 clarinets, and they call it a symphony orchestra. But it grew from that due to the dedication of the leaders of the School of Music and the leaders of this institution. Dr. Aubrey Lucas really poured a lot of resources into the symphony orchestra and really made it what it is today.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad you were on the show today. I think a lot of people don't know what all is happening at the School of Music. So just hearing you speak about it and speak about all the different instruments, all the work that goes into it, it's a great process, and I hope everyone comes to attend.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Coming up, we've got a community calendar.
Hello,
Golden Eagles! My name is Kennedy Drake, and I'm here with Community Calendar, where we gather information from around campus and within the community near you in Hattiesburg. Get ready for the Ambassador Series, where they will present Long Beach live swinging at sunset with the Southern Miss Jazz Tet. The concert begins April 5th at 7 p.m. in Town Green Pavilion. The musical group is filled with 6 individuals who showcase their skills by playing a variety of instruments. This group is sure to take you on a musical journey. The University Forum will take place with the famous guest speaker, John Green. Mark your calendars for April 9th at 6:30 p.m. in Bennett Auditorium. John Green is an author and creates educational videos online. Don't miss the chance to learn how to reach success and become more informed about educational topics. Forest County Farmers Market Spring Festival will take place April 13th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the 1200th Corrine Street. This is the perfect opportunity to get fresh foods, baked goods, and plenty of accessories. Mark your calendars for an evening of shopping. If you are in the mood to have a good laugh, come see comedian James Gregory at the Joe Paul Theater in the Thad Cochran Center. The fun starts April 14th at 5 p.m. Gregory's comedy is based on real-life experiences that will leave the audience in uplifting spirits. Bring a friend and enjoy comedic storytelling. If you have an event you would like for us to promote, send it to sm2news@usm.edu. This is just one way we thank our community for watching Southern Miss TV and supporting us here at Southern Miss Student Media Center. Visit our website, sm2media.com, to keep up with all of our news. Signing out, I'm Kennedy Drake, and this has been your Community Calendar. Thank you for listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Thanks to our audio engineer, Justin Ware, and our live stream producer, Cullen Rogers, for keeping this bird flying. Big shout out to our assistant producers, Annalie Johnson and Sonia Wood. Executive producer, Oari Ade, program director, Shania Williams, and our general manager, Dr. Martin. That wraps up our show for Southern Miss Today. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, soar high to the sky and fly, eagle fly. I'm your host, Kennedy Drake, signing off for now.
Sponsorship comes from Southern Beverage, your local